Now in Nightside, an oil leak in the Spokane River confirmed. What's responsible and what the Department of Ecology says about the spill.
Snow is moving in for the weekend, and I'm tracking just how much is on the way in your first alert forecast.
And new details to a North Spokane shooting that sent one man to the hospital, how it's connected to a kidnapping that took place the night before. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Thanks so much for staying up with us. I'm Derek Dice. An update to that sheen seen on the Spokane River. The Department of Ecology says Inland Empire Paper Company is responsible for mineral oil leaking into the river. It was first seen in Millwood last week, just downriver from the plant. 2 days ago, 1 to 1.5 miles of sheening was seen near Tum Tum, where the DOE placed a boom around the shoreline in the Long Lake area. It says the paper company experienced a cooling equipment failure, causing the leak, which has been resolved. It's working with the DOE in the recovery of the mineral oil product, which the department says is non-hazardous, non-toxic, and not harmful to human or aquatic life. The paper company says it's working internally to prevent any chance of this happening again. Well, deputies are investigating a body found near a homeless camp in the Dishman Hills natural area in Spokane Valley. The sheriff's office says it believes it was a body of a homeless person. There are no obvious signs of how they died. Deputies are now working with the Spokane County Medical Examiner to identify the body. An update to a shooting yesterday in northwest Spokane. Spokane police say it started as a domestic violence incident the night before when 44-year-old Torrin Harrington struck a woman he knew with a firearm and allegedly kidnapped her. The next day, Harrington burst into a home where that woman, a man, and 3 children were inside. Police say Harrington shot the man and pointed the gun at other people in the house. Police entered the home and arrested Harrington. He now faces 6 charges, including kidnapping and assault. There is no update on the man who was shot. Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer is no longer the chief under Mayor Lisa Brown's new administration. 4 News Now confirmed with the city that the mayor is working with fire officials, including the former chief, on a transition plan for that role. In a statement, the city did not specify whether Schaefer was let go or is resigning. He had been the fire chief since 2017 and served in the department for many years before that. Schaefer's exit follows the exit of former police chief Craig Meidel, who resigned at the end of December. Schaefer told 4 News Now he may address his departure with the media tomorrow. We'll be sure to update you on this story here on 4 News Now and on KXLY.com. All right, in your first alert forecast tonight, you may have seen some snow, maybe a few flakes here or there already, but Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is tracking the real return of winter.
Yes, this is just a tiny prelude. The real winter weather is going to hold off until the weekend. 4 things to know about your weather. We've got a rain-snow mix on the way for Thursday, a day very much like today. Most of that wet weather coming afternoon. Up to an inch of accumulating snow, mainly on the grassy surfaces on Friday. More snow for the weekend, and I'll go over some of those totals with you later in the broadcast, in the 1 to 2 inch range in Spokane, however. And then cold and snow next week. We could see some more substantial snow as we get into Monday and Tuesday and beyond. Radar right now is just showing the very last of a few hit and miss rain and rain-snow mixed showers around the region. In Spokane, we have dried out significantly. Still seeing a little bit of wet weather up around Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry, showing up as a rain-snow mix. When I've checked some of the traffic cams, I've seen a little bit of snow mixing in with the rain, but certainly nothing sticking around the region. Tomorrow, 33 degrees to start the day. We'll be staying above freezing in many locations, getting up to a high of 38. 33 is our average high, with the wetter weather holding off until later in the day. I'll be back with some Wildlife Wednesday photos and to go over that snow on the way in the forecast in just a few minutes. Derek.
Chris, thank you. Spokane police are looking for those responsible for shooting at a man and almost running him over early this morning. Investigators say it happened on West Spofford near A.M. Cannon Park in West Central Spokane. Police described a chaotic scene, to officers, with a car speeding through the area, a man being chased by a car, and gunshots. Police found a stolen car abandoned several blocks away, and a canine found a gun hidden nearby.
In plain view, just looking into the vehicle, they could see shell casings, and they brought in a K9 unit to do a track of the occupants of the car. They weren't able to locate the people from the car.
Police spoke with the victim, who alleged he was robbed, struck with a gun, and almost ran over. Police do not have any suspects in custody, but this remains an ongoing investigation. If you have any information about what happened, police ask you to call Crime Check 456-2233. A Spokane man will spend the next 14 years in prison for drug trafficking. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, 45-year-old James LeBlanc pled guilty to possession with intent to distribute meth. The U.S. Attorney's Office says LeBlanc was involved in 3 separate incidents in 2022. Each time he was found to be in possession of drugs. If you thought the pandemic was over, the World Health Organization is saying you thought wrong. One of its leaders says the pandemic is impacting us less, but it is still considered a pandemic. Because of the virus season, mask mandates are returning to hospitals across the country, including at all multi-care locations in our area. And we're starting off the new year with flu season already in full swing. According to the CDC, flu transmission rates are high across both Washington and Idaho. The Spokane Regional Health District says this season, 4 flu deaths have been reported so far. According to the most recent data from the Washington State Department of Health, COVID is leading the pack for hospital admissions, followed by the flu, then RSV. Idaho is also seeing a rise in all 3.
In terms of hospitalizations, we're seeing a rise as well for those at the extremes of age. So kind of your more elderly patients, maybe with more, underlying medical problems. And then also, like the very, very young babies.
Symptoms for the flu, COVID, and RSV are very similar. So the best way to determine what you have is by testing at home or with a doctor. All right, we're just days away now from the college football national championship game between Washington and Michigan. Michigan is favored by 4.5 points. Sports director Julian Minnesone is here. And Julian, I kind of feel like the Huskies are probably okay with being the underdogs.
Yeah, they have them right where they want them, Derek. Because remember, the Huskies were underdogs against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. They won that. And now they're trying to do the same in the national championship. The Huskies defeated Texas in the Sugar Bowl on Monday to punch their ticket to the title game. And as you can see, it was quite the celebration there in New Orleans. Now UW will have a quick turnaround before heading to Houston, but that doesn't bother quarterback for the Huskies, Michael Penix Jr., one bit. He's been preparing for this moment all season long.
I've said it since I think it was around fall camp, that our goal was to win the national championship. And some people probably didn't believe us, but we have the opportunity to do that. So we're not going to get distracted and forget about that goal.
And kickoff between UW and Michigan is at 4:30 on Monday. We're going to have coverage for you right here on 4 News Now. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
A pilot program in Kootenai County aimed at helping people overcome drug addiction had its first graduate today. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Plus, see the wild moment a man in Nevada attacks a judge while being sentenced for battery. And find out how a bad night's sleep can cost you tomorrow and a decade from now.
I'll tell you about cold and snow in the first alert forecast. Plus, I've got some Wildlife Wednesday photos. Here's one from Amy Larson, a big old bull moose at Steptoe Butte in the golden hour light. A moose on the Palouse. I'll be back after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by the percussion sensation Stomp. BroadwaySpokane.com.
Behold my Jackraps, 100% all-white meat grilled or crispy chicken with lettuce, cheese, and sauces, and a warm tortilla for just $3. And they're under 400 calories. So if your goal this year was to save money and eat healthy-ish, we got you.
Hi, I'm Michelle with APH Buys Homes, and we buy houses for cash. We're local home buyers who help homeowners in difficult situations get paid fast. Inherited houses, foreclosures, family disputes, rented or vacant, even nicer homes you just can't keep up with. We buy them all. So before you call anyone else, give us a call for a free cash offer. Just call 509-818-1800. That's 509-818-1800.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
Drinking watermelon moonshine.
Oh, Lord, when you raise the pole. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
It's going to be a hell of a new year. Kimmel's back with all the stars and more in 2024. Next week, he's got Robert Downey Jr., Jodie Foster, Anthony Anderson, and Io Adebari. Jimmy Kimmel Live returns new Monday on ABC.
Want a cool new vehicle for the new year? A new style? Tough four-wheel drives or all-wheel drives? With delayed payments until April 1st, then you need to head down to the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights and Coeur d'Alene, where they are offering up to $600 of free upgrades, like truck lifts, light bars, and tires, to customize your new ride. Get your new vehicle this year at Cal.
My double bonus jack combo gives you double the seasoned beef, double the cheese for $5.99. Let's see that again. Double beef, double cheese for, $5.99. Huh, good deal.
Spokane Wedding Expo is January 6th. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
It is a dark and damp night in Spokane. We're starting to see some of the fog clearing, but we'll be in and out of the fog, and there's more wet weather to come. Wildlife Wednesday, we're starting off with some roughhousing and almost putting an eye out here as these two bucks got a little bored and started to spar for fun. It's always fun until someone puts an eye out, though. Thanks to Mark Vogt for that photo. Nora Jen shared this photo of an adorable downy woodpecker in Cooley Dam, and from Kimberly, a bald eagle trio at Lake Coeur d'Alene. Numbers are starting to slip after the record highs a couple weeks ago, but there's still a lot of bald eagles. Your forecast for tomorrow, a chance of rain and snow. That chance is going to increase through the day and then really top out as we get into tomorrow night. Our precipitation chances start off at 20%, up to 40% around noon, and then 70% heading into the evening. We'll look at our forecast radar starting off at 7 o'clock with some hit and miss showers in the form of some non-accumulating snow in the northern valleys. Noon, showing dry conditions, but look what happens as we get into the afternoon and evening and see this rain coming in around 7. It is all rain through most of eastern Washington, and into the mountains it turns to snow, and then a rain-snow mix through North Idaho, and could be coming down at a pretty good rate. But the real accumulating snow holds off until the weekend, and this is from Friday night through Sunday. 1 to 2 in Spokane, 2 to 3 in Coeur d'Alene, St. Mary's, 1 to 2 on the Palouse, and up to 4 in the northern valleys, with more in the mountains. And then there's more snow and cold on the way. Our temperature trend, the black line is our average high. We'll be above average for the next 3 days, slipping below Sunday and Monday. After a quick trip into the mid-30s Tuesday, we cool back down Wednesday, and indications are this trend is going to keep going down. Here's our 8 to 14 day outlook, and we are in this navy blue, indicating a strong signal of below average temperatures. Maybe even highs in the 20s or colder, and above average precipitation. So there is going to be some more snow on the way. In fact, in your planning forecast, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit of snow possible Friday, up to an inch in some valley locations, 1 to 2 in Spokane through the weekend, but then another round of snow coming in Monday and into Tuesday, with valley locations in the 3 to 5 inch range, potentially another system coming in Wednesday. And with that extended forecast is accurate, there's going to be a lot of shoveling over the next 2 weeks, and sledding, and hopefully not crashing or getting stuck.
Yeah, we've gotten off easy with winter
Yes,
for the last month or so, so I guess it's about time it catches up with us. Here.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, bad night's sleep can cost you tomorrow and 10 years from now. A new study found people with more interrupted sleep are more than twice as likely to have memory and thinking problems a decade later. Researchers started by tracking the sleep quality of a group of people in their 30s and 40s. Then they gave them cognitive tests 10 years later. Low scores were correlated with those who experienced poor sleep when first tested. Those most likely to sleep poorly were male, black, had a history of depression, and a high body mass index. Well, starting in June, you'll be able to take a direct flight from the Spokane airport to the East Coast. Beginning on June 5th, American Airlines will provide one flight to and from Charlotte, North Carolina. The flight would leave around 10:30 at night and arrive in Charlotte at around 6:30 in the morning. This is the third nonstop flight American Airlines is adding to and from Spokane. American also has nonstop flights to Dallas-Fort Worth and to Phoenix. Well, around the nation now, an attack on a Nevada judge caught on camera. Take a look at what happened this morning in a Las Vegas courtroom. Wow, that man was being sentenced for aggravated battery just before this. The judge sustained some injuries. A marshal was hospitalized after the attack. The man will be back in court tomorrow to face 3 new felony charges from that incident. Man. All right, 4 years after his death in jail, sealed court documents pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein have been released. That's next on Nightside.
Later tonight on Nightline, how billions meant for pandemic-era small business relief wound up funding the luxury lifestyles of thieves, and who's footing the bill. Plus, Uvalde's loyal and true heroes of the gridiron.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
They say it's not the destination, but the journey.
Arby's says, nuh-uh. Get 2 of these things for just $7 at Arby's Cheddathon sales event. Arby's, we have the meat.
It's just 8 days until the National RV Show at the Convention Center downtown, January 11th through the 15th. Amazing RV discounts and manufacturers' reps are coming from across the country with incredible prices for the show only. Thanks on site with super low interest rates. And again featuring tiny homes in multiple models. Tons of vendors and free admission. There's prizes and giveaways, including a travel trailer giveaway. There's adult beverages, live band, and a scavenger hunt for the kids. It's the National RV Show at the Convention Center downtown, January 11th through the 15th.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2024 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
The best part of the brisket, bacon, beef, and cheddar is definitely one of those things. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Toyota.
Well, today, Idaho State Police had its first graduate from the Kootenai County pilot program called Idaho Law Enforcement Diversion. The program aims to help people who are struggling with drug addiction. Today's graduate wants to remain anonymous, but he was arrested in December of 2022 for having meth on him. He had been an addict for nearly 3 decades, but rather than going to jail, the police officer referred him to this program where he went through 12 months of treatment instead. And now that he's graduated, his drug charge has been dropped. His case manager said after 6 months of treatment, he really flipped the switch and was grateful for this opportunity.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him. He's the first one that's done this. So watching him grow has been amazing, and I wish the best. And I told him, I'm like, I'm happy to be here for you.
To qualify for this program, a person needs to be 18 or older and cannot be a sex offender or have any violent charges within the last 10 years. Today's graduate wants others who are struggling to know that it does get better. Well, tonight, some previously sealed court documents pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein have been released. Epstein was accused of abusing young girls and women for years. He died by suicide in jail while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges 4 years ago. ABC's Zoreen Shah has the details.
Some previously sealed court documents pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein have started to be unsealed. The paperwork, part of a long-settled defamation case brought by Virginia Giuffre, who has claimed she was one of Epstein's victims.
This is the litigation system working. Without Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit, this stuff wouldn't have been exchanged because it was relevant to the claims. And now the court has decided there's no good basis to keep this stuff under wraps from the public.
Giuffre previously claimed she was a teen sex slave, ordered by Epstein and his partner Ghislaine Maxwell to have sex with powerful men. A federal judge ordered the unsealing of these documents, which includes people associated with Epstein for various reasons, including some high-profile names, many already publicly known, including names of presidents, royalty, and Hollywood stars. One of the documents discusses former President Bill Clinton, who flew around the world on Epstein's private jet, but was not accused of wrongdoing. In that 2016 document, Giuffre's attorneys sought to depose Clinton as part of her defamation lawsuit against Maxwell because they argued he could provide information about his close relationship with her. And in 2011, Giuffre claimed she had seen Clinton on Epstein's private Caribbean island shortly after his presidency ended, had dinner with him, and claimed to have witnessed Maxwell flying Clinton to the island in a big black helicopter. That request to depose him denied by a federal judge in a still redacted order. She made no allegations of wrongdoing against Clinton. After Epstein's 2019 arrest, a spokesperson for Clinton said the former president had not had any contact with Epstein since 2005, knew nothing of Epstein's crimes, and had never been to the island. According to a portion of her April 2016 unsealed deposition, Maxwell said the allegations that former President Clinton had a meal on Jeffrey Epstein's private Caribbean island were 100% false. Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking and other crimes for helping Epstein abuse teenage girls and is serving a 20-year sentence, which she is appealing. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
With mortgage rates dropping, aspiring homeowners are wondering if 2024 could be the year they can finally afford to buy a home. The National Association of Realtors predicts 2023 will stack up to be the worst year for home sales in more than a decade. Now, as inflation cools, the Federal Reserve has signaled it could cut interest rates this year. That's welcome relief for many people saddled with high rent and student loan payments, including Megan Zuckerman, who's among a growing number of millennials choosing to move in with her parents to cut costs.
I'm not currently paying rent, and I'm not, in a situation where my lease is up and I need to be out at a certain point. It is nice that I'm able to take my time to get to that 20% goal and hopefully be able to meet that soon.
Now she's saving $2,000 a month to put toward a down payment for her first home. Experts agree putting down 20% of the home's value is a good goal. They also say you should shop around with different lenders for the lowest mortgage rate. For millions of Americans, lingering credit card debt followed them into the new year despite more promising economic numbers.
When inflation slows down, that just means that the rate of prices slows down as it's going up. It's still going up. And that's why so many are feeling the pinch of having not enough money to actually pay your monthly bills. And that's how a lot of people got into credit card debt.
Consumer finance analyst Beverly Harzog says households can make a fresh start with two major first steps: creating a budget and tracking expenses. Another new sign the economy is starting to cool. The Labor Department says job openings in the U.S. fell in November to the lowest number since March of 2021. The job market is on par with other economic indicators as interest rates remain at a 22-year high. The Fed says the economy may need to slow down even more to keep inflation in check. Well, one of Eastern Washington's best players had a career best performance tonight. Highlights from the Eagles matchup against South Dakota next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Roofs by Premier.
ABC Friday night.
I was terrified. It was just so traumatic. Nightmare.
A hidden medical crisis facing women right now.
Our doctor, our nurses were crying at my bedside, wishing they could do something. They literally couldn't do anything until the blood work showed that I was dying.
The confusion, the horrifying consequences.
The nurse asked me if she can pray for me. I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy.
Diane Sawyer, Rachel Scott, The Impact by Nightline special, Friday night on ABC.
Celebrate 6 years with us at Spokane Tribe Casino. Win your share of $60,000 cash during our Win-Anniversary giveaway every Saturday in January. Celebrate with us all month long as we celebrate these winning years. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Are you ready for a change? Your new career awaits. At Carrington College, we've been transforming lives through education for nearly 55 years, and we're not slowing down. Picture this: graduating with confidence, equipped with career-focused skills from hands-on experience in your chosen field in as little as 9 months. It's not just a diploma, it's an investment in your future. And with dozens of programs to choose from, there's no better time than now to find your path to a new career. 2024 classes are enrolling now. Visit carrington.edu to discover more.
Winter weather means hazardous driving conditions. If you must travel, follow these guidelines to keep everyone safe. Slow down and keep a safe following distance. Use traction tires. Give snow and emergency vehicles the right of way. Carry an emergency kit. Brought to you by Lakes, Worley, Post Falls, and Eastside Highway Districts.
Celebrate 6 years with us at Spokane Tribe Casino. Win your share of $60,000 cash during our Win-Anniversary giveaway every Saturday in January. Celebrate with us all month long as we celebrate these winning years. Only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Well, Gonzaga barely opens up conference play against Pepperdine tomorrow, but it seems like their season is already hanging in the balance. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. Now, if the season ended today, Gonzaga would be a number 9 seed in the NCAA tournament, according to ESPN. That would be their lowest seed since 2016. The chances of playing a game in Spokane for the NCAA tournament looks bleak at best. Now, head coach Mark Few, well, he's just hoping the tough start doesn't carry over into conference play tomorrow.
Obviously, it's been difficult, and we've been all over the place, and we've played a lot of different teams, and very, from the top of the heap to some not at the top of the heap. So, like all our non-conference does, it helps toughen us up. But the critical thing is that you can't let it mess with your confidence.
And tip-off against Pepperdine is at 6 o'clock tomorrow at Spokane Arena. Washington State basketball continues conference play against Oregon State tomorrow. The Cougars will be shorthanded. Head coach Kyle Smith said on this week's Coaches Show that guard Joseph Yesufu will most likely be out for the rest of the season. Yesufu missed the last 7 games due to a lower body injury. He averaged 6 points a game and brought some much-needed experience to a very young Washington State team. Yesufu transferred to WSU from Kansas this season after winning a national championship with the Jayhawks. Smith is hopeful that Yesufu will return next season. Tip-off against the Beavers is at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. This is the 305th meeting between these schools. That's the 6th longest series in college basketball history. Eastern Washington men's hoops playing against South Dakota in the Big Sky Summit League Challenge. Lahat Tween gives South Dakota an early lead with the bucket inside, but that's when Dane Erikstrup decided to take over for Eastern Washington. Erikstrup had a game high, a career high, 32 points. He went 7 of 12 from three-point range. As you can see, the big fella couldn't be stopped, and neither could Eastern Washington's other big man, Ethan Price. He gets in on the action with the dunk. Eagles dominate on the road 93-79. That's 4 in a row now. The Eagles will next take on North Dakota State Saturday at home. Now, Idaho hosting St. Thomas tonight. Turnovers were hurting the Vandals early on. Here off the steal, the Tommies are off and running. Raheem Anthony dishes it off to Kendall Blue for the lay-in as Idaho trailed by 2 at halftime. But the Vandals, they try to get something going, especially right here with the block from Julius Mims, turning defense into offense. It's Mims on the other end, gets rewarded with the dunk. But the Vandals couldn't get over the hump after that. Anthony going to be finding a cutting Drake Dobbs for the reverse lay-in underneath as the Vandals fall at home 75-67. Now, Idaho's going to have some time off before taking on Eastern Washington on the 13th. Now, to women's hoops, Eastern Washington hosting Omaha. This one was a pretty high-scoring game. Jaleesa Lawrence follows her own miss with the spin move and gets it to go underneath. She led the Eagles with 23 points in this game. Now, Omaha's turn. They force the turnover on defense. Aaliyah Stanley wide open with the bucket and the foul on the other end. But Eastern Washington, they had it going from a pair of 20-point scores. Lawrence, who we talked about earlier, she had 23, and Jacinta Buckley, who had 22. Eagles win 96-82. They'll travel to take on North Dakota on Saturday. And Idaho women's hoops at Denver tonight. The Vandals were in trouble after trailing by 5 at halftime, but after the break, it was the Sarah Schmidt show. She gives the Idaho Vandals the lead with the 3, and the Vandals pretty much never looked back after that. There she is underneath for the 2, inside, outside. It was all working. 60-51 is the final. Idaho will now play Chicago State on the road on Saturday. So you got Big Sky play heating up. Conference play for the Pac-12 and the Cougs heating up. Oregon State's got some big dudes on that team, so it's going to be a challenge. But Washington State, I think, could play both ends of the floor. You got Rice in the backcourt, you got Chinyelu underneath, so it'll be a good test for them.
Yeah, they need a W for sure. All right, we'll be back with more after this. Don't go away.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Roundup's like an accidental savings account.
But how much can you really save?
Yeah, I mean, whoa.
Hi, I'm Michelle with APH Buys Homes, and we buy houses for cash. We're local home buyers who help homeowners in difficult situations get paid fast. Inherited houses, foreclosures, family disputes, rented or vacant, even nicer homes you just can't keep up with. We buy them all. So before you call anyone else, give us a call for a free cash offer. Just call 509-818-1800. That's 509-818-1800.
We are here in Israel, a nation at war, the worst attack in 50 years. Israel waging a fierce bombardment of Gaza.
When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
This year, treat yourself to a new Toyota from Findlay Downtown Toyota. We've got lots of great choices, and every vehicle sold comes with Toyota Care, so you can get a new reliable vehicle in 2024 from Findlay.
Here we go. Football is back, and your fantasy lineups are set. But the real action this season is at Turf Club Sportsbook. We've got real sports betting in the heart of the action at Northern Quest, with wall-to-wall HD TVs and luxury leather seating just off the casino floor. And now, you can even place bets right on your phone with our new mobile app. There's nothing fantasy about that. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Got a couple more days of this rain-snow mix, and then we're going to start seeing more snow with a little bit of rain mixed in, and then just flat-out snow. Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday.
And precipitation every day, or at least a chance of it looks like.
Yes.
All right. Before that snow comes, make sure you download the 4 News Now weather app to keep up with the forecast near you. Take advantage of the hour-by-hour temperatures and the interactive radar. Just search KXOY in your app store to download it now. All right, check this out. Sweethearts has something special for those who are single this Valentine's Day. The heart-shaped candies company is releasing limited edition situationship boxes as the perfect gift for those not in a relationship. The boxes are filled with hearts that have blurry misprint on them, or what Sweetheart calls sweet muddled nothings and literal mixed messages, much like a lot of situationships, I guess. A term I didn't even know about until earlier this year when it was one of the words of the year.
Right. Someone tells me they have like a reject department there, and they're like,
the hearts are broken. Put them in a box and
instead of throwing these away.
Pretty smart. All right, thanks for being with us here on Nightside. Don't forget, Good Morning Northwest starts bright and early at 5 a.m. Have a great night.